What is up, you guys? This is Steffi, aka In My Humble Opinion, and welcome back to another Fan Reaction Friday video. In today's video, we are watching another special episode from Euphoria. I'm pretty sure they're referring to this as like part 2 Jules, but specifically the episode is entitled Fuck Anyone Who's Not a Sea Blob. We can always give it up to Euphoria for giving us such creative episode titles. But yes, if you're new around here, would love if you would take the time to hit that subscribe button and turn your notification bell on so you know when a new video from me comes out. If you haven't watched my reaction review episode to the Rue episode, I will post a link up here. Now, let's just get right into the episode. Jules. Ooh, look at this little artsy shot. Wow, that's cool. We're like seeing her memories in the eyeball. This is the, in case you missed it, portion of the episode. Here's a little Euphoria recap. Wow, I feel like this song also lyrically fits Jules. Wow, that is a title fade, honey.
I feel like I've framed my entire womanhood around men.
Oof.
What men want is so boring and simple and not creative, and
she's orating today.
just how the fuck did I spend my entire life building this, like my body and my personality and like my soul around what I think men desire.
That's a very profound like realization she's had.
I feel like there's a lot to unpack within what you just said. But the main thing I heard is how hard you are on yourself.
That's a good point.
You're not crazy, Jules. You're just a lot harder on yourself than you probably should be. I'm looking at an avatar she created in reaction to the world.
Yeah. You're looking at like a million layers of other people that I've grabbed and clung to throughout my entire life. That's terrifying.
Damn, that's like a really deep question, because I feel like if you're consistently grabbing bits and pieces of yourself from external sources, if you're so consciously aware about that all the time, I feel like then you start getting into this frame of mind of like, well then, who am I actually? If the only reason why I like certain things is because like external forces told me like this was cool or this was the right thing to be. I don't know, I feel like maybe Jules is kind of not necessarily having like an identity crisis, but I think that is healthy for her to be aware of that and to like self-evaluate in that way.
And somewhere along the way, I feel like femininity conquered.
Wow.
Most girls, when you first talk to them, they like automatically analyze and compare themselves to you. They search for where you fit in their hierarchy.
Damn.
But not real.
Not
That's the
Rue.
first thing you
Ooh, look at that lighting change. The lights. You know, I'm just happy that Jules is acknowledging how special Rue is.
I can't imagine how it must have felt.
Her therapist is like, must be nice. I also think this therapist was in the show called Looking. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that show, but...
Is that how your mom saw you?
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Well, I take that back. I don't want to.
Oh, her dad.
I've always thought of puberty as like a broadening, which I think is like why I was always so scared of it, you know? Because in my head, femininity would always be this just like, this like elusive, distant thing, you know?
Wow.
I think of something like the ocean.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot.
And when we go visit, we go down to the beach.
Ooh,
And,
cinematography.
close my eyes, at least for me, being trans is spiritual. You know, it's not religious. It's not like for some congregation. It's for me. It's mine. It belongs to me.
Yeah, I believe Hunter Schafer wrote or co-wrote this episode, so I would imagine like writing those lines specifically. That must have been very empowering for her because she's also like a trans woman. In a way, she's kind of like owning the narrative. Also, I just wanted to apologize too if I'm not talking that much, because again, I just feel like these specific one-off episodes, these special episodes that are really diving into the minutia of the character, they're talking about very specific experiences. You know, in the Rue episode, it was a lot of discussion surrounding addiction, and in this one, I feel like it's a lot of discussion surrounding Jules' experience as a trans woman. I am not those things, but I'm learning a lot, and I'm benefiting from this episode just by watching. So that's why apologies for not talking as much.
The only problem is, I might have lost Rue along the way.
And girl, you're so young, you can get her back.
Like, I had a really hard 6 months.
Damn, you can say that again.
And I left someone, like, I really loved behind.
It has been about like a little over a year now since I've seen the first season, and if I remember correctly, I do remember being a bit upset with Jules that she left Rue at the train station. It was just like, come on! But I will say I'm happy to see that Jules clearly is like emotionally affected by the decision that she made, and she feels some sense of like remorse, because clearly if there is another thing we could take away from this episode, is that like she really cares deeply about Rue, and she is acknowledging how special Rue is in her life. So I just want to say, on behalf of Rue, I appreciate seeing your remorse.
Sorry. I don't know why I'm crying.
If you show emotion like this, it's because you care. Remember that, kids. It's nothing to be ashamed about that you care about something.
I feel like her sobriety is like completely dependent on how available I am to her.
There's also that.
You know, I feel like this weight, like this massive weight on my shoulders.
Like a pressure.
Like, what if she relapses because I'm not there?
Yeah, that's hard. That's definitely a tough spot to be in, for sure. Is that her mom? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I like literally, again, it's been over a year, so... Have we seen these moments before, or are these moments like flashback to...
But you can't just dismiss the good.
I'm allowed to be skeptical.
Damn, Jules has a lot of shit going on in her life.
Don't you feel the same way about Rue as you do your mom?
No.
You just said you were angry at Rue for the imbalance she created in your relationship. So would it be fair to say that you resented that imbalance? But the same person who saw you, who truly saw you, in the same way that your mom did when you were a baby, was also incapable of seeing how her addictions affected you.
Yeah, I guess I've like never thought about it that way.
Damn, even that had me shook.
It's just like easier to talk to people online.
Oh god, shy guy. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Oh, she's taking the pictures. I was like, is she like performing a number right now? Wow, this is like all artfully choreographed. I like how that scene, they were like in the light.
There were so many times I wanted to kiss her.
Well, I feel like the Jules and Rue shippers are probably like dying at this entire sequence right now.
And when she finally did. I'm sorry. I should go.
You remember that moment? I think this was like different coverage though.
Hey, I was just hoping we could talk about what happened earlier, because like I know it was really weird and I didn't like mean it that way or anything.
I love how we're also now getting like further insight about what Jules was thinking during these moments that we saw already. Like, this is nice. I like it. I'm enjoying.
How could it be possible that Rue loved me as much as I loved her?
Why would you think it would be impossible?
That reminds me of like the Perks of Being a Wallflower quote when they're like, we accept the love we think we deserve.
I could never tell her this, but I feel like I got to know him better than I knew Rue.
Damn.
It was like genuinely the best sex I've ever had.
What made it so fulfilling?
It was just pure fucking imagination.
She likes the fantasy, because fantasy, I guess, can't compare to reality.
Tyler? Why are there no photos of us?
Whoa!
Because whoever I was talking to didn't exist.
That's right, bitch. That's right. Not real. Wow, this is a very, like, artsy episode. Like, I will say compared to Rue's episode, this one has more, like, creative direction.
I wish I never met him.
That's interesting she has that line compared to in Rue's whole sequence. Wow.
Don't look at my face.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
Rue,
Oh, is this like, this is like from Rue's episode too.
really bad nightmare about living in New York City with Rue. She was in the bathroom, like she had locked it from the inside.
Oh my gosh. That's like the worst way to find someone who is an addict. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, obviously, other than dead, but...
Rue! Over the phone! Fucking sorry!
Damn. Woo! Oh my gosh.
Okay, what's all the time we have for this week?
That was a lot to take in for your first therapy session.
Just be patient with yourself.
That's a good tip. Be patient with yourself.
Merry Christmas.
I'm Jewish.
Oh, sorry.
It's a way better holiday.
Rue? Hi.
Oh, okay, so is this like a continuation? Like, this is real? Like, this is after the whole finale?
I really missed you. Missed you too. And I'm really sorry about, like, everything that happened at the train station, leaving and stuff.
There you go.
God, fuck that. I don't know why I'm crying. I just get really emotional during the holidays. It's okay, yeah, Merry Christmas, Jules.
Oh, where are you going? Oh my god, chase after her. Please! Just kidding. Oh, girls. I guess to be continued. Season 2, Euphoria, whenever that comes out. Alright, and some post-show thoughts. Obviously, the thing I appreciate most about both of these Euphoria specials, but especially with the Jules special, is getting to hear Jules's commentary and thoughts and her specific perspective on everything we saw. And I think setting the episode up in that we're in Jules's therapy session post her running away, I found it made sense to the character, and honestly, like, it made me happy to hear that her father grounded her and put her in therapy. I was like, that's good for you, Dad. I will say, I'm wondering if, from a production standpoint, I'm wondering if by the time they were shooting this particular episode, I'm wondering if maybe the COVID restrictions weren't as intense as they were when they went to shoot Rue's episode, because I definitely feel feel like this Jules episode was way more like visually dynamic. It kind of felt more like a traditional Euphoria episode in that way compared to the Rue episode where they were just pretty much there in the diner. This one, it was like there were a lot more fancy camera tricks and it felt like there was just more motion that we saw here. There were so many things that they brought up in Jules's therapy session. Like, wow, what a first therapy session to have. They covered so much ground. But for me, the two ideas that they talked about that I found really interesting was first Jules's thoughts in terms of like her relationship to her body, especially as a trans woman. I found everything she had to say just like really eye-opening, mind-opening. I liked hearing Jules vocalize all her thoughts about her relationship to Rue and like the complicated nature of that dynamic, because as much as she loves Rue and appreciates how special Rue is to her, it's a hard balance to juggle when you feel that that person's sobriety is dependent on you. Going into this episode, I like completely forgot about, but then as she was talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like, I remember kind of talking about that while watching the first season. I will say though, compared to the Rue episode, like this one, I don't think you necessarily had to watch the whole season over again in order to understand what was going on, but there were definitely like moments, because for me it had literally been a year since I'd watched Euphoria. Like there were moments where I was like, wait, is this new or did we see this before? Like I was kind of confused, but then it started coming back to me, but it was just like, oh, like I felt like I had to stretch a little bit more in that way compared to like Rue's episode. I didn't really have to. Yeah, and then I will say like the last couple of minutes kind of felt like a bit of an epilogue to both the Rue and Jules storyline, because it felt like, you know, we're now back in present day in the world of Euphoria, and that was essentially Jules and Rue's reunion. And I appreciate that Jules took the time to apologize to Rue. At least Rue stopped by to greet Jules a Merry Christmas. It does make me wonder like when season 2 of Euphoria is supposed to come out, and it also makes me wonder too, since like this episode essentially ended during the holidays, Christmas, it makes me wonder like when we resume, what does the world of Euphoria look like? Is it going to acknowledge COVID in any way? Or when we do pick up in season 2 and it's now gonna be like January, it's a new school semester, does COVID exist in the world of Euphoria? Or gosh, I'm so curious. My question for you guys is, I want to know genuinely, and not to, you know, pit these two episodes against each other. It doesn't have to be a competition, but for the sake of discussion, I genuinely am so curious to know, which episode did you prefer? Did you prefer the Rue special or did you prefer the Jules special? You can say like both are really good, but I would really appreciate if you could like just choose. For me, I will honestly say I think I still preferred Rue's episode over Jules' episode, and I think it's just because I found it very special that a show that is known for being so like visually dynamic and there's just like always got a lot going on, I found that it stands out from the rest because it just took time to just stand still and just let two characters, like for me, the focus of the Rue episode, it was more script heavy, and I just found like the conversation that both of those characters had with each other, there was just so much that was said. Not to say that like there wasn't a lot that was said in the Jules episode, like they went through a lot, but I do feel like there was like a lot more like give and take back and forth between Rue and Ollie versus like Jules and the therapist. And I mean, like, again, that's kind of like what you get if you're setting up an episode, letting it be like a therapy session, because that's the job of the therapist, is to just like, you know, listen and like ask necessary questions, but it's more so the responsibility for the person who's on the couch to like vocalize. But yeah, I don't know, there was just something very special about that Rue episode that I was like, damn, like that's a really, really great episode. I still haven't rewatched it. It's been a week since I've watched it, but I actually suggested that episode to someone to watch, and that person had never seen Euphoria at all. And they still like really enjoyed what was being said, like what that episode was all about. So I just genuinely want to know, which episode did you prefer? The Rue episode or the Jules episode? Again, not to pit these two episodes against one another and to say one is worse or blah, 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 blah. It's all really just a matter of preference, and it's okay for us to have our preferences because both episodes were strong in their own way, but I just am curious to know, which episode did you prefer? Let me know in the comment section below, and also let me know why. Alright, and that's about it for this video. If you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and please turn on the notification button down below so you know when a new video from me comes out. And please comment down below your thoughts on the Jules Euphoria special. Also, if you guys don't know, I host a podcast called Diva Dailies. It's a podcast where we deconstruct divas on film, TV, and in music. Right now we're on a bit of a hiatus, but if you're looking for a new podcast to listen to in the new year, I definitely recommend you give us a chance. You can listen to Diva Dailies wherever you listen to podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, whatever. We are there. Just search Diva Dailies. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of my spiel here. Once again, as always, everything I said was just my own personal thoughts and all my humble opinion. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!